So hey world, welcome to my channel and welcome to The Hunting Party episodes 3 and 4 review. And here I am back, like I said in the other video, to do the other two episodes, of course. Episode 5 comes out next week. Today is Friday. I think I'm gonna put this tomorrow, so Saturday. And episode 5 comes out next week. So next week I will be doing episode 5 alone. But because I'm catching up, I did the first two and now these two. And yeah, I guess let's just get into it. The show continues. Very, very strong. Very, very good. Every case that they have is completely different from one another. Every case. And of course, if you go to like a show that's like about police or like detectives, FBI, whatever, you always have cases, and yeah, they could be elaborate. But this show just gives something different to me. You know what I mean? Like the way, like the killer, they have to study the killer and to know like how they were and what they did. But then, of course, their methods and the way they kill changes because of what happened in the prison. And it's like for every killer, there's a specific thing that they kind of invented for each one. You know what I mean? Like they did some experiments on the first killer, so he changed the way he killed. And then the second killer, they also did experiments on him, but it wasn't the same experiments. They did a different thing. And then in episode 3, the killer, they also did a different experiment. And then episode 4, they also did a new thing. So they did experiments on each one of them, but like specifically to how they were. And I'm like, what? That must have taken a while for them to come up with all of these like treatments, because of course everything is fake for the show, unless it's not. But like supposedly everything is fake, so they had to come up with like fake treatments, and also every type of like serial killer in a fake treatment that would like kind of fit with the type of serial killer they are. And then that would change the method of how they would kill again. Crazy good writing. Girl, crazy good writing, because the story is so good. But I want to take a round of applause to me. And this is one of those things that I wish I was doing the reactions to the shows. Because episode 3 was so good. I would say it would be my favorite. Because, okay, a lot of the killers are like men, and it's like, okay, great, another man. And so I went into episode 3 and I was like, is he going to be another man? And I thought it was going to be another man. And then I was like, because I take some notes, I was like, let me search the episode title so I can put them in writing. So then I can say it in the review. And the episode title was Lowe. Lowe. That's low, basically, right? It gotta be. I don't remember. But I ended up not searching it when I was watching the episode. I was like, okay, no. Because I know the episode names are The Killers. So I'll put the name after, like it's not important, right? And so then the episode starts and they're in the shop and there's a guy and a woman. And of course, he's buying a gun. So you immediately think, oh, this is the killer. And that's what I thought. I was like, okay, this is the killer. It's going to be another man. Boring, right? So then he said, I want to renovate my hunting license. And just by that, I was like, if he was the killer, how would he renovate the license? Like, what do you mean? I was like, even if he stole like somebody's identity, he has to give the ID, and then the guy is going to give him the form. So he has to do the paperwork. He has to know all of the information of the person. So even if he stole somebody's wallet, he wouldn't have been able to do the license. So that's when I was like, wait, how is he the killer? He's not. Right? And see, this is a good example of it's not all men, but it's all men. You know, because I love to say, oh, I hate men. I hate all men. Because, you know, and when people say that, there's going to be men in the comments very mad. They're going to be like, oh, but it's not all men. I'm not bad. Oh, why are you putting us all in the same category? And it's like, the men who say that, they are part of the problem. They are the bad ones. Because if you're not a bad man, why are you upset when we say, like, oh, we hate men or whatever? Like, if you aren't like that, obviously we're not talking about you. Obviously, it's not all men. But then it is all men. You know what I mean? Exactly. So just by that, and this should be my application for the FBI. FBI, if you're watching this, if you're looking for new profilers, bitch, let me know. Because I clocked that since the beginning. I was like, if he has to give the information, he's not the killer, because how would the killer know everything? And then she's outside in the streets asking for a ride. And I'm like, girl, what are we doing? She was outside in the rain asking for a ride. And I'm like, first of all, what are you doing, girly pop? Why are you in the middle of the street in the rain asking for a ride? Like, what are we talking about? But sure, that could mean nothing, whatever. But another thing that made me think that she was the killer was because they were showing what's happening. Usually they don't do that. If you look at the other 3 episodes, first of all, they always say to men, they're like, oh, we catch him. We got a new look at him. We found him. He was caught. On this episode, what they said in the beginning, it was, oh, we caught a new one, or something like that. Oh, we spot a new one. There was a new spotting. I think it was like that. Yeah. There was a new spotting, but they didn't say he or she. And then the episode shows like her asking for a ride, him giving her a ride, him acting weird. And he had the gun and there was a knife. And so I was like, if he's supposed to be the killer, they wouldn't be showing this, because the other episodes, they just kidnap the person, they take the person, they kill them. They're not shown. It doesn't show them doing it. So if they're showing it now, it has to mean something. There's a reason for it. And then again, because it was so obvious that it was him, then it wasn't going to be him, because it was so obvious it was. He had the gun, he had the knife. He was acting weird, but that's because he's a man. Because men suck. And this is not to say that he wasn't bad or he couldn't kill her, because I could definitely see him being also a killer. And you know, if it was anybody else, he probably would have killed the girl, right? And leave her in the woods because she wanted nothing to do with him. Because he wanted to take advantage, probably rape her, right? So that's what I was like, oh my God, it has to be her, because he might not even have done anything yet, but he totally deserves to die. I was like, oh, fuck it. You know what? I don't care. It's a man. I really don't give a fuck. Kill him. And then it cuts back to them in like the thing with the computers, like the center, the operational center, the operations center. What is it? Is it like that? I don't know. But then it cuts to that and they're like, oh, what's the MO? What's this? What's that? But they were never saying the gender. They were never saying, what's his MO? What did he do? Who did he kill? No, they said, what happened? What's the MO? Who died? They never said a gender specific word. They never used a pronoun. I was like, clock it. It's going to be her. And then they're like, oh, Is that him? And the girl's like, oh no, not him, her. And I actually filmed my reaction because I was so proud that I got it right. But like, I got it right in the beginning. I already knew from the beginning that it was going to be her. It was just more about the confirmation. I was like, but I'm going to add the clip here. It's her. She's the killer. Look. Wait, can I change the camera? It's her. I fucking knew it. And so then, girl, I was so happy. The whole episode, I was happy because she was just killing man. Girl, when she was in the forest and the guy killed the deer and he was like, oh, what are you doing here? And she's like, hunting, the same as you. And I was like, period. Exactly. But she's actually hunting somebody who deserves to be hunted, not defenseless animals. You coward with a fucking gun. Period. And then the way she killed him, she sliced like his leg. I thought it was like in the artery, but I'm not sure. But I feel like it was. Because she didn't even chase. She knew he was going to bleed out. And she was like, oh, okay. Let him go. Let him act like a fool. And he had the nerve to drop a tear. And I'm like, you didn't drop a tear when you killed the animal. So you're dropping a tear now? No, sir. Fuck out of here. And then the way she put the body in the field so that she had the sniper and she could see them. She's so smart. Girl, I love this episode. I feel like this is my favorite. Yes. If there's, we got to support women's rights, but also women's wrongs. I'm very much for that. I do not see her. For me, she didn't do any wrong in my eyes. No, she didn't do any wrong. She was right for everything. And then when she killed the guard in front of the kids, I was like actually shocked because it was like out of nowhere. I was like, maybe she's going to wait for them to clear. No, she just in front of everybody. And I was like, oh, period. This is giving like Jason, Friday the 13th vibes. And I was like, oh, girl. But yeah, this episode, and also the way I clocked the gun, because when Bex had the gun and they were like fighting, she took the thing out of the gun where it has the bullets and she threw it away. But she still had the gun in her hand. And I was like, there's still one in the chamber. Because usually when they unload a gun, they take the thing, I don't know what it's called, and then they open the thing of the gun so that the other bullet can come out. Because there's always one in the chamber. So I was like, she didn't do that. She didn't do that. So there's still one bullet. But then she threw the gun away. And I'm like, okay, what are we doing? But then when she picked up the gun and shot her, I was like, period. I knew there was still one because she didn't empty the clip. I guess that's the name of the clip. She didn't empty the clip. And so then she shot it and I was like, I clock it. I knew there was still one bullet. Thank you. And then the way she just took the gunshot and then she still continued fighting the killer. I was like, girl. And then after the episode, I went to search the name of the episode and the name is just, like I said, Low. There is no first name in the name of the episode. So just because of that, you can already tell that they wanted to trick people. Because if you go and see the name, it says Low. So you don't know if it's a guy or a girl. So then you go into the episode thinking it's just going to be another killer. And then because they made it seem like it was the guy, you're not going to think anything else about it. But I'm too smart. I clocked it from the beginning. So FBI, if you need a new profiler, bitch, give me a call. That would be so much fun. Well, not fun because we would be profiling killers. So that's not fun. But fun. You know what I mean? Exactly. Girl, so good. But let me see in my notes if I forgot something. Did I? Oh. Yes. There's another thing that I clocked. FBI, you need to hire me. What are we talking about? What did I say in the other video? I was going to keep an eye out for Shane. That's what I said. Episode 3, he was very acting like weird. But like, you could say it was nothing, but he was like, oh, I'm a fan of sports. Oh, you didn't have ESPN or whatever it's called. And then he was like acting like a fan of the guy that I don't remember, but was it like, I just put fan of sports because I don't remember the sport that he said, but he said it was like a player. And I'm like, okay. And then he was like, oh, I'm a fan, whatever. And I was like, That was like kind of an odd place to drop that information. You know, they weren't having like a normal conversation. They were interrogating the guy. So I was like, why would he act like this? You know, he was kind of acting like a child when they see like, you know, a hero or like a famous person or whatever. I was like, okay, that's weird. So I pointed it out. Yeah, I mean, I guess those are the notes I have for episode 3. But then episode 4 starts, and it always starts with the previously on the hunting party. And so they showed Shane taking the picture, and I was like, I forgot about that. Because in episode 2, when they were in the doctor's house, he took a picture of a picture that was in the house. So he took a picture of a picture, and I took a picture of him taking a picture of the picture. I'm going to insert in here. And I was like, yeah, I forgot about that. And I was supposed to be keeping an eye out for Shane. I forgot about that. And so then, like I said, I took the picture like you saw. And then I thought to myself, maybe he knows one of the doctors. Maybe he's trying to find them. Maybe he's like family. And maybe that's why he was in the prison rescuing the people. And maybe that's why he was so like, oh, it was on my watch. Maybe that's why he was so invested. Then we cut to the end of the episode. And who was one of the people in the picture? His father. Like I said. Well, I said it to myself, but still. And this is why I wanted to do reactions. Girl, I wanted that to be on camera. I wanted the proof. Bitch. I wanted the fucking proof. But like I said, it's going to be so hard to edit. Because I watch a lot of stuff too. So that would be like, how would I choose what to react to and not? Do you know what I mean? But I said it to myself, it's going to be somebody he knows. Cut to the end of the episode, and this motherfucker is his father. Also, the actor that plays his father is Dr. Leakey from Orphan Black. Who saw her Orphan Black? Raise your hand. Exactly, clock hit. I was like, Dr. Leakey? And also the name of the episode was Dr. Ezekiel Malik. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening with the doctors in this episode? And then just that, like, could you imagine if Superman, like, his only weakness is kryptonite? Could you imagine if he became invulnerable to also kryptonite? That would be like so OP. That's the same thing with this. Like, he was already a serial killer or a psychopath, and they are already like very smart. So then you mean to tell me that he went to school to study psychiatry or whatever, and then he was a doctor? That's like OP. What was that? Oh, so you're a serial killer, psychopath. You are already very smart, right? So then you go to school to learn even more about the psychology of the human brain when your fucking brain doesn't even work right. I was like, and then, you know, it's one of those things like he studied that and he still didn't understand that he was wrong, that he was a killer, that he was bad. No, he used that to torture the victims. And I'm like, you motherfucker. And then it was Bex's birthday. And I'm like, just when they showed the cupcake, I was like, oh yeah, it's going to be her birthday. Girl. And then she died in her birthday. And that's actually crazy because also they're kind of taking risks with this show. And of course they weren't going to kill her permanently. But just the fact that he actually went through it and that she actually died. Because you know, a lot of shows, they would have been like, they would have stopped him before he could kill her or before he could do something to her. No, they actually went through it. They actually let the killer kill Bex. She died. Like, she actually died, and then he brought her back. I was like, are we doing this? Because that was always the thing. You get to the end of the episode, they get there in the nick of time and they save her. They save the person that's in danger. No, she died. I was like, okay, I don't love, but I love, because that's, how many shows did you see that they're killing the main character? Like, they actually went through it. And because that's, and like I said, it wasn't going to be permanent. Hello, she's the main character. But that's such a, I don't want to say cool because that's a bad thing, like she died. But that's such a cool character arc. Like, she died. You know how crazy that's going to be, like, in future episodes, like in situations where she could use that, and the growth she could use from that. Like, just the character development she could get from that is crazy. You know what I mean? Instead of just being saved in the nick of time and nothing happens, you know what I mean? Like they actually took the risk. And then, not only that, but she saved herself. She didn't even need anybody. Like, she beat him up, and then he injected the serum on himself. And then she was even like, oh no, you're not getting away, bitch. You're not getting the fuck away. No. And then she brought him back. It's just like, no, bitch. You don't get to die. You don't get to get away that easily. I was like, yes. And she did all that on her own. After dying. Yes. And that's what I love. A powerful female character that doesn't need anybody. Okay? Period. But let me see what else I put on episode 4. Oh, Morales. I don't know her first name, but they kept calling her Morales. And I was like, okay, that's gotta be like the last name. She's so funny. She was in the computer and she was like typing something, whatever. And Oliver was trying to put his hand on the keyboard because it was like gonna look something up or whatever. And she just like, she kind of did this, like, don't touch the keyboard. She was like I was like, oh, period. I love the attitude. Like, she's such a good character. And the way she was like, oh, I'm very competitive. And she was drinking the Red Bull and trying to find the clues. I was like, oh no, I love her. Obsessed with her. Love her. And then, oh yeah, because then Shane lied in the car. Like, I went straight into the end of the episode. But when they were in the car and they were like, oh, we need to find Dr. Dully. I think that was the name. And they were like, and Shane was like, oh no, you don't need to find him. Oh, he wasn't in the prison when I got there. He's probably dead. And you could tell that he was lying. I was like, all right, clock it. I knew it. And then we get to at the end of the episode and it was his father. And I was like, away. That was crazy. I was, again, FBI, hire me. Hello. What are we talking about? Oh yeah. I wrote, he got Bex because she was dumb. That's what I wrote. You know why? Because she was going to the basement of like the hospital or the garage, whatever. And he was like, Bex, where are you? I need a location. And she, instead of answering, she turns off the comms. And I'm like, you stupid, dumb fucking bitch. You could have just said garage and then you turn it off. No, she just turned it off. It doesn't say anything. I was so pissed because it's like, sure, you were close to the killer, but just say garage and hang up. And then he still caught you. He still went around and caught you from behind. You stupid bitch. Like, obviously that was a trap. Like, he broke the glass so she would check out the glass and he would get her. Like, Bex, you know better than that. So you could tell that was kind of a plot thing on purpose for him to catch her. Because he wouldn't be able to catch her. She's so smart. She's so much smarter than that. Like, what do you mean? You know, like, girl... And then they had that little scene on the plane also where she was asleep and like Shane and the other guy, Ryan, was it Ryan? I think it was, I don't remember. But they were like, oh, I have this scar because I got shot. I have this scar because of this. And then Shane was like, and he showed a scar like, oh, it was like a projectile or something. And then Ryan said, oh, I have one of those too. And he showed, and Shane was like, oh, mine is bigger. I was like, I bet it is. Shane is so fine though. Shane and Ryan, the clothes Ryan wears, I definitely need to see if his name is actually Ryan. Otherwise, I'm calling him the wrong name. But his clothes that he wears, like those sweaters, they're so pretty. It complements him so well. I cannot. Oh, the wardrobe team, y'all better fucking work. It is Ryan. It is Ryan. Let me see if there's like an image of him in the show. Let me see. Let me see. Show me. Show me one. This one. This one. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. He looks so fine. Look at the arms, and also he's not like you can see a little bit of the belly and also a little bit of like the titty. Okay, this is getting a little weird, whatever. But he has such a dad bod. And the way his beard complements his face and the hair kind of curly. Bitch. Oh, I would get pregnant. I can't get pregnant, but I would certainly try. Sir. Sir. Sir, you were blessed. Oh, I need to search what he looked like when he was younger. Oh, and then like an even bigger plot twist, and this is like to end the commentary. This is already super long, but there's a lot of things to talk about. They found Oliver's like storage unit, and then there was a lot of locations. One of the locations was the prison where this show is about, but there were other locations, and I'm like, are there going to be like more prisons? And then it makes sense because in the other episode, they showed the containers in the ship, and they were putting the prisoners in the containers and then putting the containers on the ship. So they were shipping them somewhere. So it makes sense there are more locations, which means there are more prisons. And there were 5 more. So there's 6 prisons in total. And it was like, okay, it makes sense. You know, there's like a lot of people, you know. But like 6 prisons? And the other one was already so big. Like, which also then means if they targeted this prison to release the prisoners, because it was on purpose, because also we have all of our things that he's working for somebody. And the girl that he's working for, the blonde woman that was in the car, she was the president in The Night Agent on season 1. I was like, there's a lot of people on this show that I know. I love every time. Oh, there's a new person I recognize from this show. I recognize from that show. Like, girl, it's crazy. But yeah, so he's working for somebody. They did the explosion. He stole some files. So maybe they have some like leverage on Oliver or something. And maybe he has to do them because he did look kind of guilty. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's actually like involved. But I guess we'll see. But yeah, so that also means if they have the locations, then probably they are gonna try and attack other prisons and like blow them up too. So like we literally have content for like 5 seasons at least, or like 6. Because if it's killers from a prison in each season, and if there's 6 prisons, then there should be 6 seasons. I really hope they don't cancel it after the first one, honestly, because none of the recent shows have longevity. Either you have a new show that has a 1 season and then it gets canceled, or if it's lucky, they have a 2nd season and then they get canceled. And then I guess that's it. There's no other option. The only other shows that get more seasons are like shows from Netflix. And even that is like really rare because they only usually go to like 3 seasons. That's like the limit. So to have a show this good, this well built, and with so much possibility, and they already showed so many good things, and they already showed that they can write a lot of good things, it could definitely have longevity. I feel like it's just going to depend on the viewers and how they marketed the show. And if they get a lot of views, I feel like that's what's going to depend on. But we'll see. But girl, I'm very excited. So now let's go to what happens next, which I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen next, honestly. Maybe we're going to find out about the other prisons. I I didn't see the name for the next episode. So, because again, if they do something like they're trying to play the viewer or it's like a spoiler, I kind of don't want it. So I'm only going to look up the names after the episode. But yeah, I really don't know what's going to happen next. Maybe we're going to see more about the other prisons, what Oliver is up to, and we get a new killer, a new case, and a new story. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Then for the rating, I would give episode 3 10 stars. But like by a far, 10 stars. That's my favorite episode. And then episode 4, I would give it... Girl, I don't know. I want to give 10 again. Honestly, I want to give 10 again. But I mean, I guess because there was something like that, it was like, yeah, she only got caught because it was a plot thing. Because I feel like she wouldn't have gotten caught. But maybe she wanted to get caught so she could talk to the killer. I don't necessarily know. So I kind of want to give it 9 stars maybe for that. No, but it was just so good again. The whole episode in itself is so good. And those plot things are going to be a part of it. So yeah, I'm going to give it 10 stars again. I gave 10 stars for all of the 4 first episodes. What are we talking about? This never happened to a show. What? Crazy. But yeah, definitely let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know if you're excited for the next episode, if you've seen the show. If you didn't, what are you doing here? Because this is full of spoiler. But maybe you don't want to watch the show. You just want to hear me talk. Completely fine. Understand. I love hearing myself talk too. But yeah, let me know everything. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will be here next week for episode 5. And I'll see you there. Bye.